And I once more want to thank His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, and my brother, my first Vice President, and the Royal Morocco Football Federation, and the people of Morocco for hosting us. And as I said this morning, we love football, and of course football is something that we are deeply committed to. But what we also are proud of is the role that football plays in bringing all our people together and uniting all our people on the African continent, people from different racial backgrounds, from different ethnic backgrounds, people from different religious backgrounds, and also our people of the continent who speak different languages. And I once more want to thank the people of Morocco for their contribution and for partnering with us as African football in building African football today for women, but for men as well, and also to contributing towards an African continent where there's greater unity, greater good relationship amongst all of us, and a common commitment to work together. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask my brother if there's anything he wants to say, and as our host, and then we'll take questions from the media.
Monsieur le Président, juste pour réitérer ce que je disais au niveau du comité exécutif de tout à l'heure, en tout état de cause, ce qui nous intéresse en tant que Fédération royale marocaine de football, et ce qui nous anime, c'est effectivement d'être en parfaite harmonie avec la feuille de route qui a été fixée, conçue par Sa Majesté le Roi Mohammed VI, que Dieu assiste, pour le développement de la jeunesse africaine et notamment évidemment marocaine, de tisser ces passerelles, que ce soit les jeunes garçons ou filles. Et aujourd'hui, on est ravis à ce que ces orientations se traduisent d'une manière fréquente sur une terre de fraternité, d'histoire, de tolérance, de cohabitation, mais surtout de civilisation millénaire. Encore une fois, bienvenue à tous les collègues, au président, mais à toutes les jeunes de tout le continent pour fêter 3 semaines de football et de la passion. C'est ce qui nous anime ensemble, tous et toutes, et vivre cette ambition, et que prions Dieu que ça continue le plus longtemps possible, Inch'Allah.
Merci. Merci beaucoup, mon frère Fossi. Okay, so we'll take a few quick questions.
We'll take quite a few questions, President, and then afterwards we will just wrap it up. If you can please identify yourself and then ask the question, and then we will, I think it's only fair that we must start with the host, and then afterwards we come to you, Osaso, I promise you. Just, okay. You go first, and then Osaso, you come second. Osaso, you're from Nigeria. Oui, mon frère.
Bonjour.
Continue.
Mourad. Oh.
We can hear you if it doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, we can hear you.
Let's go.
Okay.
Ça va.
Okay. Bonjour, Mourad Zelaji.
Continuez.
Bonjour, Mourad Zelaji, journaliste Le 7 TV. Ma question, je vais la poser en arabe, si vous permettez. Oui, bonjour, Mourad Zelaji, journaliste Le 7 TV. En arabe, ma question sera posée en arabe, si vous permettez. كرة القدم النسوية تعرف طفرة كبيرة، وتسهرون أنتم بمعية كافة المكتب التنفيذي للاتحاد الأفريقي لكرة القدم على تطويرها حتى تتنافس على أعلى المستويات. سؤالي، ماذا ينقص لإفريقيا حتى تظفر بكأس العالم أو التواجد على الأقل في النهائي أو في المربع الذهبي كما فعل المنتخب الوطني المغربي لكرة القدم في كأس العالم الماضية بقطر.
Thank you so much, and thank you for speaking Arabic, because it's part of our languages and part of our culture and part of our proud history, and speaking French as well is part of a very important language for us on the continent, and so is English. Now, you said something very important. The whole of Africa takes so much inspiration and with so much pride of what we have achieved in Morocco, in Qatar. When Morocco went to the semi-finals for the first time in the history of football in the world, one of our own, our national team from Morocco went to the semi-finals and made the whole of the continent very proud. And I'm confident that we will continue. There are a number of African countries, Morocco and Nigeria, and very many, I don't want to mention many names, that Senegal and many others, Cameroon, Egypt, that really makes us proud. And we believe that an African nation will indeed be champions of the world. And the talent is there. One of the biggest benefits of Morocco is the love for football by His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him, and his support. And we say to many governments and heads of state that they must also partner, and I'm very proud there are many countries in Africa where the heads of state and the governments are partnering with football. So we remain confident the standards are improving, and as I said, next year we'll be going to America, and we go to America with a huge amount of enthusiasm. But before America, we are excited about the AFCON that's taking place in Morocco at the end of the year, and that AFCON is going to be the most exciting, the most successful AFCON in the history of the competition in Africa. What I also love is many of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, whether they are from Nigeria or whether they are from many other parts of the world, many other parts of the continent, and who live in America or in Europe, are also coming to Morocco for the AFCON in December. But of course today we are focusing on this beautiful competition, the women's AFCON or the WAFCON. If you look at the performance of the African nations in Australia and in New Zealand, the women from Morocco and various other countries made us proud. And as much as we are confident that a national team of men will win the FIFA World Cup, we are equally confident that a national team of women from Africa will win the FIFA Women's World Cup. Can we go now?
Osasu.
Oh, okay.
Osasu, then we go to you, Celestine, and then Adil.
I arrived this morning from America, and at the end of the match I'm going back to America. So we haven't eaten. So that's why we'll take the questions quickly and rush off and have breakfast and lunch combined together.
Charlotte, yes. Can you just give the microphone, the one that is active, to Osasu, please, quickly? Speak Osasu, maybe it's fine.
Yeah, because if I don't have the microphone, they can't translate. That's why.
Yeah. So let's make sure we've got, Madame?
Charlotte?
Let's make sure we've got microphones that work, eh?
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good to see you. It's been a while I've seen you. Bearing in mind that we've waited 2 hours to have a word with you this afternoon, I'll crave your indulgence to ask some questions. The first one, which is directly to you, is being that the meeting was had extra time, you had to spend extra time to resolve all your issues concerning the last point of the agenda, is it not fair to say that there was a rather robust debate concerning this report? Because you just told us that everything is fine, there's no problem at all. If you had to spend so much time over and above what was allotted for this meeting, it does indicate that there must have been some robust conversations.
Sorry, go ahead. I want you to finish your questions and I'll be finished.
I'm finished. I'm finished for you, but I just want to finish all so that I can hand over the microphone.
Okay, let me tell you, it's totally incorrect. There was no debate at all. And in fact, we spent a lot of time, most of the time, on the $1 billion financial partnership for African football. That is what a huge amount of the time was spent on. I knew what was contained in the report, and so that was absolutely not a matter of, in fact there was total agreement. The judge did an excellent job, and in fact the committee. So I don't know whoever told you that.
No, nobody told you anything, I'm just asking.
Oh, you're speculating, so I'm just indicating. We've got our priorities clear. Our main focus is to develop and grow African football. So we spend a huge, in fact, I think it's correct to say, if you look, we had about 11 items on the agenda, 80% of that time was spent on this issue of the 1 billion. This is going to be a very short press conference, and we usually create an opportunity for questions as well. But I first want to start by expressing my personal gratitude to the Royal Maroc Football Federation for hosting us in these beautiful facilities, and thank my brother, my first vice president, Fuzi Leksha, for the hospitality and for the good infrastructure, and for hosting this very important EXCO meeting. When we leave here, we'll be going to the opening match, and it's good to see my president here of the club association. Pialan, you should be sitting here. Can they organize?
Just getting a chair.
Yeah, a chair. Yeah.
Getting an extra chair for
okay.
you, Madam President.
And Sidat as well. You should be coming up. And again, thank all the Vice President Kurt. Thank you so much. And Mofre Pialan, thank you, Vice President Madame Bestine. Thank you so much. And Sidat, thank you for the good work. And thank you to our Secretary General and to the CAF staff. There are two very simple issues we want to report on, other than the football, which is very important. And the process of making sure that African football is globally competitive. We saw how the African clubs performed at the FIFA Club World Cup, and we are confident that they will continue to even do better. You can see that the quality of African club football, which is significantly more competitive because there the financial resources are such an important issue. So we just want to thank all of the clubs from the continent, Al Ahly, Wydad, Esperance, and Mamelodi Sundowns for representing us, and wish them all of the best in future, and wish all of the African clubs. Berkane has won the Confederations Cup, and Pyramids have won the Champions League. We are very proud of all of them. And we are confident that in future, the African clubs at the FIFA Club World Cup will do better, will graduate and qualify out of the group stages and do even better. The second issue is we announced in Addis Ababa, this $1 billion partnership that we are looking at over the next 8 years, and there's a lot of good progress that's been made, and the identification of a global marketing agency to work with us. We've had a lot of excellent proposals from companies that are, from global marketing agencies that are proposing to work with us. And the aim is very simple. We want all of that money to go to football development in Africa. A huge chunk of that money, we're in the process of discussions. Good progress has been made, and we'll make an announcement in due course. But as I said, the aim is to use some of the financial resources, invest in making sure that all of our member associations can contribute to the development and growth of football, and contribute to more investment in youth academies, contribute to more investment and growth of football clubs and national teams in all of our member associations, and also for those countries where they are upgrading their facilities to be at the CAF and FIFA standard. We're happy that an increase in our resources will contribute towards better infrastructure, better football pitches, and better facilities. The other matter that we discussed today, we received a report from Justice Damasep, who was the head of the Joint Investigation Committee into allegations of governance non-compliance, which was a matter that was brought to our attention sometime last year. We want to express our deep gratitude as CAF to Justice Damasep and his committee, the Joint Investigation Committee, as I said, that investigated these allegations of governance non-compliance within the CAF Secretariat, and we received his report, which makes it very clear that they found that there was no behavior or conduct that amounted either to money having been stolen, as some people were speculating outside, which is false. The report doesn't say anything. In fact, even the allegations, there were issues that were raised there. And the conclusion of the Joint Investigation Committee was they found nothing that was improper. They found nothing had been done that was wrong. And but a recognition is part of the instructions that we gave them was to also specifically identify areas of weaknesses in governance or where we can improve, and they have given us specific proposals. We did excellent work on governance when I became president, but I think we were excessively aggressive in the beginning because the report of PricewaterhouseCoopers made certain recommendations. And what we've asked Judge Damasep to do, and we will be in touch with PricewaterhouseCoopers, is to make sure that those areas where there's been good work in governance, which is good, but there are some areas where we can even do better. And these are some of the proposals that he has made. And he will be overseeing over the next few weeks and months with PricewaterhouseCoopers that the adherence and the application of governance, transparency, ethics, best practices in CAF is in line with the best in the world. And I'm very, very happy with the report that we've received from Judge Damasep on ensuring that that we continue to be an organization that implements global best practices, as I said, in relation to governance, in relation to transparency, and in relation to ethics. We also announced the vice presidents that have been elected to chair very important positions in CAF. The new presidents of the Interclub Committee is my second vice president, our brother Kurt, and the head of the Women's CAF Organizing Committee is Madame, not Bestine, Madame Bestine. She's the new president of the Women's Organizing Committee. She's done excellent work and we're very honored to have her. And our brother Siddharth is the head of the Youth Organizing Committee. And I also announced today that EXCO approved that Amaju Pinnick will be coming back as and will be attending all the EXCO meetings, and he will be the advisor, my advisor, the advisor of the CAF president. I was so happy to see that. I knew that they loved Amaju. I never knew they loved him so much, you know. There was a huge amount. I have a soft spot for Pinnick because he's got so much passion for football, and it makes me proud to see that others love him as much as all of us love him. So Pinnick is going to be advisor, special advisor to the CAF president, and he'll be attending all EXCO meetings and will be participating. And we will continue, as we did in the past with the CEO of the 2010 World Organizing Committee in South Africa, Dr. Danny Jordan. He'll proceed as well as my advisor. But overall, African football is doing very well, and there's continuous investment, and the school's football is doing exceptionally well. And I want to thank our Secretary General because there were lots of allegations and perceptions in the media about how in his, under his leadership in the Secretariat, that there were issues that were improper, and I'm enormously proud that the investigation has really concluded that his behavior and conduct and the behavior and conduct within the Secretariat, they could find nothing that was improper, and they're very happy. And I'm even more happy because that reflects the total commitment that we've emphasized, that it's important that we don't just comply with governance and ethics, but also that there's a perception by all our stakeholders, all member associations, as well as our partners and sponsors, that indeed we are adhering to global best practices. The final point I want to raise is, of course, for me as president, it's very important because it's part of our legacy that, you know, many years from now, when we are not in, well, I don't know how many years from now, when we are not involved in football, we can all look back and say we were part of a leadership in CAF that behaved in a manner that was reflective of a deep commitment to global best practices in all forms, whether it's governance, whether it's ethics, transparency, administration, management. So those are the points we want to raise. And I think this WAFCON that's taking place in Morocco today is going to be the most successful, the most exciting WAFCON in the history of this competition.
ما تنسوش تتابعونا في قناة اليوتيوب ديالنا وفعلوا خاصية الجرس باش يوصلكم كل جديدة. ديروا شير الفيديو وبارتاجوا الفيديو مع أصحابكم في مواقع التواصل الاجتماعي.